Neither one of my parents ever went to school. My dad was a truck driver, and my mom worked in her family business. And my mom had a really rough childhood, and my dad was a drug addict. One of the biggest hurdles for her was she got divorced and had nothing. She didn't have a degree to fall back on. My mom used all of her money and savings to get us to Bedford because it was a better school system. So we were like the poor family in the rich neighborhood. And being there, I think, really pushed me to realize how important school was. The question of the hour was, where are you going to college? Have you started looking at colleges yet? I don't want to struggle. I don't want my kids to struggle. I want to do better moving forward. I don't want to ever be stuck where my mom felt stuck. It made me realize like college is a path out of that. My name is Amanda Costa. I'm 27 years old and I live in Worcester, Massachusetts. Originally I was majoring in special education, so I was going to get a dual 5-year master's in special ed and early elementary education. I really enjoyed being in school. I really liked learning. I felt like there was something that I was supposed to be doing. And I was doing really well, but then it felt like all of a sudden, like a light flipped off. I'd probably sleep like 3 hours a night. I just had all of this energy and like didn't feel negative at the time, felt like really great. Like I was feeling awesome and everything was okay. But then I would have these bouts of paranoia where I didn't want to go to class because I didn't know what people were thinking about me, and I thought that they were recognizing these racing thoughts in my head. And then I guess I experienced what would be my first crash. I was great other than this kind of paranoia to being super depressed. I got to the point where like I didn't really understand why I was still there. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be kind of living anymore. I didn't feel like I saw the point. When I left for the semester with this plummeted GPA, and it literally failed every class, my mom panicked and then I panicked. I think seeing their concern and them like really saying it to me, like something needs to change. So my mom and I went to a local psychiatrist who diagnosed me as being bipolar. I kind of just like lost it. I don't think I realized how much of a fear I had of mental health until he said this word bipolar disorder, and I immediately was like, okay, my life's over. The one memory I have that really sticks out was in my kitchen with my mom, and I was talking about originally going back to school and like figuring it out, and she pretty much sat me down and was like, you need to get help. We need to do something about this. And I literally remember just kind of like falling to the floor and bursting out crying. So I think that was the first time I really realized like I needed to do something now. At UMass, I work as a research coordinator in the Department of Psychiatry. They specifically hire young people who have lived experience and help us get back into the employment realm. Once I started feeling more confident and comfortable with my abilities at work, school was back in my head. And I don't think I was 100% confident when I went back to school. I think the biggest piece was being okay with failing along the way. I was going to make it happen, and I had to be committed. But once I got there and the class started, I think my excitement took over. The paranoia piece had kind of shifted because I really did a lot of work to get myself there. And I wish I had something like open doors when I was trying to figure out this path for myself, someone that could sit there and be the mentor to me and give me that peer support. The day I graduated, I just remember I was so excited. I walked on that stage and I was like, I just felt like a different person, like I was there. I guess I finally felt like I'd made it. Knowing what you want to get out of the world and feeling like you're here for a reason is what keeps us here and what keeps us doing well. You have a goal and you're always moving forward, even when you're in pause, even when you're moving backwards, that you're going to get there, that there's some reason to take that next step. I went to a conference, and I think one of the things that stuck to me the most is it's not the road to recovery, that recovery is the road.